lives honorably, I'm gonna always present them with the opportunity to have my platform. Even like Styles P, people don't even know we've been cool for years, only because we have somewhat the same ideas. You know what I'm saying? And I'm meeting his wife for the first time, and as soon as she spoke, I was like, oh, y'all got the same thing. Y'all understand the importance of female energy and love, and y'all living that. They got the juice bar. They healthy. You know what I'm saying? Same shit. And we in movies. You know, and we've had authentic experiences.
Right.
And those kind of people that are cut from a certain cloth and a fabric, regardless of when it is, when they they always stick together. There's always that respect. You understand? And we want more of those people, because if we all, like, you got to look at this movie. This movie was made by us. It's a black movie. Like, no disrespect to Panther, but, it's about black people, but it's not made or funded by black people. There's still another culture making money off it. So I'm glad that, now we're in that position. But this is a black movie coming out the same day, funded by somebody black, down to like the only television station that's really embraced it is owned by somebody black. The person that's brought the most attention to it, Kanye, is somebody black. The actors are black. It's black, 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 black. And I haven't had to put up the money that they do, because you don't have to pay for cool. Cool is like conveniently cheap. Tacky people have to pay to pretend they're cool. Cool motherfuckers don't pay for the shit that other people pay for. You laugh, like, I ain't paying for that. You gonna pay God. My name's not Johnny. You know what I'm saying? So what I've learned is, with that independence, if we stick together, the thing that everyone's so scared of could happen. We could be successful on our own. And I'm gonna walk it like I talk it. I'm gonna show it to y'all. When I'm rough, when it's getting hard, I do it. I show pause. I tell y'all, like, yo, it's rough right now. Bills get paid late, but who cares? It's all for the independence. It's also my kids don't have to have a boss or my woman. I'd be devastated if my girl had to go to work and some other dude was telling her what to do. I couldn't live with it. So that's why I do what I do.
Did you plan for it to drop during Black History Month?
No, it just all happened that way. Shit always happens that way. You know what I'm saying? You kind of try to control things. You try to architect things as much as you can. But what's right is going to happen, no matter what and what circumstances it is. Like, this was not easy.
Right.
It was a fight every second. I was out of pocket for 3 years. I haven't re-up in 3 years. I need that money back to put it into other things. I had to figure out how to do that without that, and pay bills in about 4 other families' bills. I'm old school. I got a lot of kids with different big mothers. So, but you work it out.
Right.
It's not going to be easy. You can never think it's going to be easy. You have to know that it's going to be some kind of struggle or question. But if you have faith, then you're really not bothered. And I've been successful too many times. So when these things come up, I'm like, oh, I remember you. And that means actually it's about to get better. So I embrace all the shit that comes with it. All the things that people would probably be scared of.
Right. How does Honor Up compare to Game How do both of these compare?
Honor Up I was there. With Paid in Full, I was there. That whole experience, I was there. I saw it. I was a part of that. I could have told the story from my point of view, but I didn't. I chose to tell it from somebody else's. This movie is from my point of view. Also, it wasn't paid for by me, Paid in Full. It was paid for by Miramax, which is the Weinsteins, and that's where all of this bullshit happened when I went to war with the Weinsteins 15 years ago immediately, because I saw what he was doing was dead wrong. Right. And I wasn't going to let him. I find that people that disrespect culture disrespect women. Like bad taste in one thing, it usually translates to bad taste in everything. You know what I'm saying? Right. So when you have good taste in one thing, you're usually good at, with everything. So all these people, it's funny. All these people, because I've been trying to punish him for years. I've been trying to punish all of these people. Charlie Wack, I've been trying to punish all of them. I talk, I muscle, I beef, I do all, nothing's happening. You know what took these men down? Women. And that's how powerful women are, and I'm glad that women are starting to realize their power and having confidence in it. I've been saying this shit for 6 years. I apologized for Big Pimpin' 10 years ago, not when it was convenient, and when everyone was doing it. My hashtag has been invest in women for years. The women the things that have got me my most success is when I have a crew of women around me, because dudes start to get jealous. It's the testosterone. But my point is, these things and these ideals are nothing new. I live by it. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that was what Paid in Full was, a fight. Honor Up, I paid for it. I did it myself. Raquel was like, when she started to work with me and she became my muse 10 years ago, she saw the betrayal of so many artists that we just didn't deserve it. And she would be so mad. She'd be madder than I'd be about it. I'm used to it. And she was like, you know, you have to start to invest in your own art. For me to really love you, I got to see you be, you know, unapologetic about your point of view. Stop making everybody else famous. Make yourself famous. And I had got a couple of dollars, you know, and I was like, yo, we could get the house or I could bet on me. And she was like, bet on you. You know, I prefer that. I respect it. Then I could be your girl. So I bet on me quick. And, you know, this is what happened, and I'm glad that did happen. And that pushing and all that came from, you know, me just wanting to look like a superhero in front of my woman. You know what I'm saying? So, thank you. You know what I mean?
Superhero. Last question. What's your favorite scene in the movie?
Man. This is
I know. I just came up with that.
You gotta see the movie. You know, all of those scenes are about personal experiences, some way, shape, or form, or some people's personal experience. So they all had kind of like messages. I don't want to give up the movie. I think the scenes that I'm talking to Daniel, who's Primo, and that's my real OG, like my method, and you remember, is we would have conversation, we would talk, and then we say, what we just talked about, let's have that same conversation on action. And, you know, a lot of the conversations were real conversations that I was having with him, because we hadn't seen each other in a while.
Right.
And the shit we talking about is real, so I'd be like, okay, just say that. So like all of those scenes where we're really talking, or rather that you see us supposedly acting and we're really just talking, it's like y'all really getting a glimpse of like what we talk about when the cameras aren't on. So those are kind of my favorite scenes because y'all can really hear my tone, the diction, you know, the energy. You're going to understand why I am who I am because of the people that taught me how to be. You're going to really see it. You're going to know why I can't compromise because these people are still active in my life. They still call me daily. My success is their success. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why is because they protected me. You know, they got me here for a purpose. I know when I get someone there so that they can help me, that's what's supposed to happen. So they got me here by protecting me, keeping me safe, so I'm going to make sure I help them. It's just the right thing to do. And what I saw in Kanye's face when he was helping us is something that people don't get. When you help people that deserves it, it gives you a really good feeling. It makes you feel better than anything. I saw him smiling and laughing, and I was like, he gets it now. Because that's how I feel every time I help somebody get where they got to go. And, you know, I did it just because I wanted to, just because I was inspired, not because I was trying to exploit them, but just because I really liked who they were and what they were doing. And I want that to be a contagious energy, and I really hope that overall that's what Honor Up does. It makes Honor Up be the new wave, looking out for the people that looked out for you, doing the right thing.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank you. I'm inspired right now. Damn. Well, we can't wait to see the movie. Thank you so much. Can we give it up one time?
One last question. Being from Harlem, I feel like you've always been an ambassador and like trying to spread that message, Harlem USA. Like, what does it mean to let people know that you're from there?
It's like natural. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm proud to showcase where I'm from because of who I am. And I want people to see what made me who I am so they could really understand why, like, everyone thinks I'm crazy. Or they thought I was crazy. But it's like, after you see this, you might not think I'm so crazy. You know what I'm saying? And to be able to put the right people in position, because there are people that pretend that they're from Harlem. You know, just because they live there, it doesn't mean they have that spirit. It doesn't mean they cut from that cloth. And there's been a lot of looking the other way lately that I'm not familiar with because I've been far removed for a long period of time. So the shit that I'm hearing about is like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, so that was another reason why I thought it was important to showcase the ideals of Harlem, why Harlem is Harlem, what made me who I was. So I feel like it's important because it's real, it's dope, it's fresh, and it's the world would be a better place. You know, if you could take those ideals, I'm not gonna tell you because the movie. The movie is really me. You know what I'm saying? It's my life before Rockefeller, and then also the fact that Cam. See, when I was younger. You know, there was this crew called the Lynch Mob, and they were from my block, 142nd Street, but I knew all of them. And I didn't participate in the shit that they were doing, but I was still cool with them. You know, when you get cool with somebody, like, you know, when they robbing people, they still cool with you. Like they'd be robbing somebody right next to me, and they'd be like, yo, watch out, Dame, or, you know, I just didn't have to worry about it. And I didn't appreciate it in the moment, but I'm thinking, God damn, what if I didn't know those dudes? Like, I had no wins. I would have had to really become, because in Harlem it's not about being like tough. It's about being thorough. Like you're not a killer, but you have to be prepared to do it. It's just part of the game. You know, if you're gonna be outside. And I'm glad that I never got. They would have pushed me to do that shit, and they didn't. You know what I'm saying? So because of that, the younger guys looked up to me, and that was Cameron, and that really happened. You understand what I'm saying? So the movie is about that, and Cam is in it as the younger guy, and you know, Styles actually plays my Lou Sims, and y'all should Google him. You know what I'm saying? And you'll know. You know.
One more question. Can you tell us anything out of Diplomats reunion?
I could tell you, I just did a project with A-Track and Cam.
Ooh,
you know what I'm saying?
Fire.
The reunion thing is like, I feel like, when I was young, I'd be like, I never want to be like the older reunion guy on the stage and be doing the fat moves, like the fat dance. Like that. I mean, I wasn't going to do that. And like, I think if the reunion shit happens, it should be like Kane's involved. You know, like, we still doing new shit. You know, there's no reunion. Motherfuckers, they doing shit. Like, when somebody does things when they're 20, you can't expect them to do the same shit for like 50 years. Like, it's not a reunion. It's like an evolution. Mm-hmm. So when you feel like revisiting the things, you know, because you got to remember, a lot of times, the shit that you was doing when you were in your 20s, you want to get as far away from that shit as possible.
Right.
So people talk to me about reunion. I'm not going back to that shit. I just spent 10 years trying to get away from it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really like my life now. You know, my brand is built on me, Poppington and Dusko and all that shit. None of this shit is based on anything that I've been Gary Coleman into. You know, like, I'm not going to be Gary Coleman into everything Rockefeller.
Right.
I did that shit when I was too young, man. You're going to talk about my fashion shit, my movie shit, my art shit, my running around the world shit, my health shit, my diabetes shit. There's so much other shit. I'm not ready for a reunion yet. I'm not old. I'm vintage. You know what I'm saying? I'm like Eddie King. Right. You know what I'm saying? You're old. Singing old shit. I'm not doing that. Not yet.
So, does anyone else want to ask him anything?
Yeah. You've been one of my idols for a long time. I'm 30 years old, so like when I was coming up, you know, I always was watching your plays, what you was doing in the streets. And one of my favorite videos is the Choke No Joke, when you went up to Def Jam and they was having a meeting. I think it was Julie Greenwald, Mike Kaiser. They was all having a meeting about Jay.
I was there. I remember.
What was your energy like? Like what sparked you to just go on there and just literally just shut that whole shit down? It was just like.
Well, in the moment, my heart was broken because Biggs' brother had just got killed. And what I was aggravated about was they had called this meeting and they said that they sent us an email knowing that we were all at his wake, and I found that to be dirty. You know what I'm saying? And I knew that my temper might get the best of me in that moment because I truly felt disrespected. So I brought the camera just so that I had a witness. And, you know, I was right. Everything. Only thing is I didn't know who was... I didn't know that meeting was thrown by who it was thrown by. You know what I'm saying? And that was like crazy. But other than that, I taped it because, you know, I knew they were going to go to Human Resources and say I said a bunch of shit that I didn't, and they did that. And I just sent them the tape and say, stop fucking with me before I sue you. And they left me the fuck alone. And that was my energy right then and there. It was a savage, hurt, broken energy. And I was sick of them. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to embarrass them. I wanted everyone to know that they were suckers. And that they would even go that far as to play with us when we were going through like a death of one of our brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's for what? You know what I'm saying? So I just thought it was whack. And, you know, where I'm from, when people do things like that, you have to be violent because you don't want other people to do that. You have to make examples of other people. But in this business, you can't do that. So the only thing I could do was just embarrass them. That was my way. That was like shooting them. Every chance I get, that was how I bust my gun, by bringing the truth to the light. Do that shit that you're doing in front of everybody and be proud of it. So here's a camera. And don't say I did something I didn't do, because I just humiliated you in front of your staff because you're weak and you're a coward and because you have no honor. And now everyone that thought you was tough knows you soft on my terms. And I'm not going to jail for it. You know what I'm saying? That's why I wrote a book about those motherfuckers. Culture vultures. I wrote a book. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's documented. Like, you're playing with the wrong person. Like, why would you play with a motherfucker that can make movies? You know, that's smart, that can articulate, and that's not going to do nothing dumb. You know what I'm saying? Like, what I learned is they took a lot of years just like banking on my temper And that's why they showcased a lot of the dumb shit. Like, I was like, how come y'all keep only talking about pouring champagne and yelling and dumb shit, and I'm doing mad fly shit? It's because y'all trying to make an excuse for what y'all trying to do, and I wasn't gonna let that happen. You know, I've seen how they treat motherfuckers in history, so I had to protect myself. That camera was a witness. That's why I always had it on. My best witness. You ain't gonna say I did something I didn't do. That's just gonna get documented. And also, motherfuckers don't fuck with you when you with your kids. So they're the safest place I could be is with my children. That's why I spend so much time with them. I mean, that's one of the reasons.
The last question is, you've been able to reinvent yourself, reinvent so many different brands. What would you say have been like your key 3 principles in business?
I don't call it reinvent. I just call it evolving and growing. It's just I started mad young. Most people get, reach that kind of success in their 40s. I'm 20. So I can't be the same. I'd be whacked. Like, imagine me really dancing around champagne and yelling it out. That shit would be corny. But also, it would be corny. I don't not do it because because I think it's corny to do it because I'm old. It's just I really think it's corny. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not doing that shit no more. You know, it was only cool when you in your 20s. In your 20s, you're not supposed to be smart. You know, you're not supposed to listen to somebody when you make millions of dollars when you're young. Who are you listening to? You make more money than whoever's telling you, you're supposed to be reckless. That's rock star shit. You know, you're supposed to be blow all your money and get all drunk, do all the dumb shit. By the time you're 30 and you have kids, you're supposed to be over that shit. You're supposed to be doing cooler things. You know, you're not supposed to be, like, again, I always remember back to when I was young laughing at older niggas. I'm never going to be that older nigga I was laughing at. I'm never going to be that old man in the club. I'm never going to be the dude that, just because that one time I wore that outfit, everyone thought I was fly, I'm going to wear it for the next 30 years. Like, I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to evolve. I'm going to grow. So it's not reinventing. Y'all learning what I learned as I learned it. I'm growing. Once I learned this business was whack, I did another one. And I said, fuck it, I'm going to go do art. My midlife crisis was running around the world opening up art galleries. I like to do fly, cool shit. I bank on cool shit. I just like to do cool shit, so I just think I got to be smart about it. Like, I got to be the plug. I got to be the connect. So once I know how to do it myself, I can be real arrogant about it. And then I do it. And then when I win, it's like when everyone thinks you're losing and you win, it's so much better. Like, when motherfuckers was making me the underdog, I was cracking up. I was like, this shit was funny as hell. You know what I'm saying? And I can be patient. I think I'm going to do it by the pool. You know what I'm saying? Like, I come out when I feel like it. It's never been urgent. I've never found my Batman or the Joker. I haven't found my competition yet that inspires me to fight. I just feel like impressing my girl and my family and me. I don't even feel no competition. I really don't.
Last one, I swear. So the shoe is based around, the story behind that is basically being in your bag. What was your first real big bag? What was your first big deal?
In my mind, I haven't had my big deal yet. I'm trying to get a Billy. That's why I kind of keep betting it all, because the money has been short for me. I've been like, this ain't it. That's why I'm telling you, I'm still on the block grinding. I'm still flipping, because this ain't it. What I made, I can't put up. I can't look at it, or I'll spend it. I have spending habits. I like good things. So I haven't got that deal yet. You know what I mean? Like, it's all relative. Like, if you're in the street the first time you get a bird, it's a big deal. Like, oh shit, a bird. That's the success of for like someone in music, like being on the radio might be the biggest deal, but then, or the first time you get a tour bus, or the first time you perform at the Garden, there's so many different things. So, like, things that I thought were big, once I get them, they're not big to me no more. Like, once you make your first million, like, man, quick, you're like, that wasn't nothing. That can't be big. I did too much too young to give it up, to even be impressed with myself yet.
Thank you.
Right. One more time. We're doing Josh.
Absolutely. Ready.
Thank you for that. That was dope. All right. First question. What do you think of the current state of hip hop?
I'm 47. It's not relatable to me.
For real?
Meaning I'm 47.
Right.
That's the same thing you had before. Do you want another one?
This is liquor?
Yeah, that's the one. Do you want another one?
You and Dapper Dan are both Harlem natives. What did you think about being Nigerian after all the
You
years?
guys
I'm
are
hyped.
good too?
Yeah?
I'm hyped. Dapper Dan getting that kind of props, I'm hyped.
What do you think of his influence on Harlem?
I was there.
Okay.
I had a Dapper Dan. I had the Dapper Dan in Sherlin, right? And he made me the pockets extra deep.
Oh man.
Because we were supposed to be tough, so we could carry guns in them.
Right.
But I never carried a gun in them. But
Right.
he just was the fly guy, you know?
Right.
The reason why I wanted a Suzuki, what made me hit the street is I wanted to buy a Suzuki so I could put a Dapper Dan wheel on it.
Right.
And they only cost like 10,000, so I asked my
Wheels?
mom. Huh?
He
I
had
was like,
wheels?
huh?
I heard he had wheels?
Like they would do the covers. So that could be a Dapper Dan cover on this, on the, I'm gonna get one of them shit. That's what I need him to make me a wheel cover. You remember those?
Oh, a steering wheel
Remember the
cover.
Suzuki? I would have did anything for a Suzuki, B.
Last question.
I'm still hustling behind him.
Word.
Colors. The colors? Great colors.
What was your initial reaction to Stacey Dash's tweet, and have you guys resolved anything since? That was the last one.
Well, that's family business. You know, it would be corny to talk about it, but my reaction to what I saw was I thought she had got her Twitter hacked.
No way. That's crazy. Is there anything else you want to let OK play now? Is there anything else you want to let OK play now?
But I got another movie coming out called The List, starring Brian White, Columbus Short. Already shot, done. About to put that out.
Dope.
And that my book Culture Vultures is out.
Dope.
Put that out the other day. Check that out.
Cool.
And if you like my life and you understand what I'm doing and you want to see more of it, I got my own Netflix, Dame Dash Studios. You order that right now.
Dope.
And if you want the clothing, go to Poppington. We make everything in America. I'm going to launch that super duper exclusive Kanye design merch on the Poppington pieces in a hot minute. You know. And stay tuned for Raquel's second season of her cooking show.
Hey.
Health is wealth.
Got you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Can I get your number?
Yeah.
Wait. Let me end my story.
I would love to get yours.
Yes, absolutely.